Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Butcher's Bible Podcast. I'm your host, Ant.
And I'm Luke.
We're two blokes preaching the good word of the meat industry.
One episode at a time.
Nice. Nailed it. Excellent. We got a very special guest with us tonight, and that is Dalziel. How are you, buddy?
I'm not too bad, guys. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good, Matt. Yeah, good. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me.
Anytime. Yeah, we've been...
We're big fans.
Thanks.
Big fans.
Big
But
fans.
you want to plug and promote yourself? Tell the people who you are and what you do.
So I'm Big Butcher Doug on Instagram. I'm head butcher at Middle Farm. I've been for 3 years now. And yeah, that's me. Just all about getting that local produce in, preaching the good word of field to fork,
Nice.
Preach,
head,
brother.
nose to tail butchery, and
Yeah.
all the goodness in between.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Very-
Now,
Yeah.
you've been at Middle Farm for quite some time. Can you tell us about that shop? Because it is like, we've been following you for such a long time, and it's just an incredible shop.
Yeah, so Middle Farm was, I don't think it's ever been factually checked, but they like to list themselves as the first farm shop in Sussex, if not the first in the UK. So 1962 or 63, the current owner's mum and dad started selling eggs and home-baked bread out the back of the farmhouse.
Nice.
And it's just grown from there. I know from staff members that have been there for years that they've had people come down from, like Darts Farm, apparently, before they set up, they came down to have a look round to see how to put together a farm shop. We are very rough and rural. The shop, the cider bar and the butchery, it's an old converted milking shed. So, we've got the wooden beams, everything's low. I've got a doorway in the butchery that I hit my head on at least once a week. But yeah, we're right on the A22 in between Eastbourne and Lewis,
Cool.
and it's always been that go-to destination for people. They're coming down to Sussex, they're driving past, they stop and get some cider. Big shout out for the largest national collection of cider and perry in the UK.
Nice.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How
Let me just sip my cider after I say that.
many ciders is it then?
Oh, I would hate to say. I know for a fact that the back wall probably has at least 25 different ciders. And then you've got local craft beers, they've got perries, they've got, you name it, we've got it. It's ridiculous.
That's awesome, man. Have you got any Dorset cider?
More than likely, yeah. They've got a guy that goes down and travels, obviously definitely down to the West Country at least once a month and just loads up the van with all these small batch ciders and stuff that are only made by like one bloke in a shed and are absolutely leaf for like 11.5%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, some of the stuff that we got down here is like 10, 9, and 11 or whatever, and you're just like, whew,
Yeah.
like
they've
socks off.
got your old school, like proper scrumpy in there, and then they've got all the sort of high, posh ciders and stuff. But yeah, if you can name it, we've probably got it in there. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah. Do you utilize any of the ciders in your products?
Yeah, so definitely. We've got the cider barn banger, which is a simple pork and apple cider. Instead of water, we just soak the port in cider overnight.
Yeah.
And then you add a little splash in just to wet the rusk whilst you're mixing it, and yeah.
Pretty much.
Is that a dry or a sweet cider?
That's a sweet cider.
Yeah. To really give it a punch and caramelization when you cook it.
Will be good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So tell us a bit about your products that you do, because I know you do nose to tail.
Yeah, so we're full carcass. I'm very lucky. So at the moment on the farm, unfortunately, we're going through a bit of a transition period. So we don't have any of our own cattle on the farm at the moment. But I'm very lucky that I've got a young farmer, well, 2 young farmers, Jack and Freddie, who are 20 minutes up the road from me, who are producing some phenomenal local beef. And they've got all sorts. So, I've got Sussex, Aberdeen Angus, Longhorn, just some fantastic beef. And they're literally 20 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
So use them for sides of beef. But because they are so massive in what they're sending out, I think Jack and Freddie are doing about 20 head a week down to the abattoir.
Wow.
Nice. That's
Some
good.
serious deal.
But it means more so because of that, I can just get rump and loin. I can just get a roasting side.
Yeah.
So it means, although, I get my full sides of beef from them, I don't have to, because we're so busy, I don't have to compromise on getting some box beef in.
Yeah.
Like how I can still get some proper Sussex ribs of beef, roastings and that from them. And it's still using local produce. Yeah, I might not be getting a full side in, but it is still that, full carcass butchery, because I'm not using a wholesaler. I'm not using a third party. I'm getting it direct from the farmer.
Very cool.
And to be fair with Jack, it's similar to your situation, and it's one farmer, so I get my pork from him as well. He does for me a beautiful heritage Duroc pork.
Oh, Duroc.
Yeah. So no messing, proper, inch thick fat on the back, proper chops.
Yeah.
Marbling through the eye. It's just, I think now because the girls in the farm shop can hear me when I'm working, and every so often they'll hear this up and go, you cut into some nice pork and some nice beef.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't help it. You crack into this stuff and you're like, Jesus, I'm getting to work with this.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
But we are lucky. We do have our own lambs on the farm now. So we've just got the start, because we're an open farm as well. So in the past, there's only been, maybe 10 or 12 sheep on the farm. They bring in sock lambs and things for a lambing event. You maybe get, by the end of it, 40 lambs, and then they're gone. When they're ready, they're gone, in a month and a bit. But now we've got Nikki, who is our farmer, and she is fantastic. Again, she's only young, I think mid-20s. Probably tell me mid-20s. She might be younger than that.
Well, just remember, no girl ages over 21.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Just 21.
And she is producing some fantastic lambs. So, we've got the start of our commercial flock. They've just brought in last year 50 Welsh, which are scatty as hell.
Yeah.
Like, they are sheep that are used to being left up alone and not having any human contact.
Yeah.
Like, even some of the mutton she sent in for me from the ewes that she didn't lamb this year was fantastic. So we've got some really exciting things happening for next year in terms of our own home produced lamb, which will be really nice.
Nice. Do you shoot much mutton?
But I've got a big trade for mutton now.
Good.
Very cool. Is it mainly for stewing, or do you do chops also?
So I tend to have a real market. It tends to be diced, and I've got a few customers that they want whole shoulders, and they want whole legs. And when I first started selling it, I'm like, but fat. But I'm in a really lucky area where I've got a good amount of foodies that come to us, and they know how to cook. They know what good food is.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I sold mutton shoulder to a customer, I was like, do you want me to take some of that fat off? She went, no. God, no. I want to rent that down. I'm going to use that. Take that off. But before that, that's because I was used to, Anne's favourite customer, little old Doris. Can you take some of the fat off for me, dear? It's too much. But no, mine was, leave the fat on. Fat is flavour.
Yeah, fat's good for you as well.
Yeah, that again, the girls in the farm shop constantly hearing that ringing out. Fat is flavour, fat is happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps you good.
And the usual sound of me slapping my belly.
You got the leather apron, so it gives it more of a twang, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, you've got to get the twang. You've got to push the belly out on the leather apron and really get the twang.
Nice.
We've got a good trade from and goat as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we get, again, Jack, my local farmer, he gets in some brilliant goat from, not loads, but we're still doing a goat a week.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Good.
You know, and every customer I get coming in, oh, I don't see goat anywhere. Yeah, exactly.
You don't.
I've got it every single week for you.
Yeah, we do go.
Yeah, now the trade on that is mainly, well, to be fair, the trade on that is dice, but the legs, shanks, shoulder.
Yeah.
Because again, it's educating those customers that goat isn't a slow cook. Goat can be treated exactly the same way as you would lamb.
Everyone thinks it's like goat curries, tagines and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
Like some pot roast, and you can actually, I've had some good cutlets and chops from it.
Oh yeah,
it can be as tender as a spring lamb. You know, not necessarily tough as old boots as what people think.
Yeah, exactly.
I always kind of sell it as it's when people go, I've never had goat. What's it taste like? I always sell it as was slightly sweeter, but a milder taste of lamb.
Yeah.
You get so many people that say, "Oh, I don't like lamb; it's a bit too strong for me."
Yeah.
You're thinking of venison then.
One, you're weird, but two, try some goat.
Yeah, there is that stigma that is around goat. People think, oh, it's strong or it's chewy and all this. And
That's because they fucking stink. You go to a petting zoo, the goats are the ones that absolutely fucking honk. Like they smell like the cheese.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, we've got an goat on the open farm, and yeah, they do stink.
Mm-hmm.
But there is we do a curried goat sausage, and it's one of our best sellers.
Yeah,
I remember the first time I bought it, I bought some home, and I got my brother-in-law to try it because my brother-in-law's kind of my taste tester forever.
The guinea pig, yes.
Just give that a try, see what you think. And he absolutely loved them. These are lovely. Can I have some more? Can I have some more? What are they? And I went, they're curried goat. Oh, I don't want them. What do you mean you don't want them? And, well, I know they're goats. A bit weird. I don't want to eat goat. I went, you've just said how nice they are. Yeah, but now I know they're goat. I don't want to eat them.
Yeah.
What? Makes no sense.
It's just that stigma, isn't it? And people are just like, no, I don't want to do that. But then you look in the fields, they're the ones causing chaos. They're the rat bags in the field. They're the ones jumping around and bashing on other animals and everything.
Dude, they're suicidal.
They are.
They're parkour, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're funny.
We
have boar goats, which is quite cool. The South African ones with the long floppy ears. And they don't smell. It doesn't smell at all. This goat that we get in the carcasses. Don't know why.
Maybe because the ears soak it all up.
Yeah. Tasty ears. Fry them off.
And they only stink when they're alive, don't they?
Yeah. With the young Sheila who's doing the lambs in the field, what's the price of your lamb then? Because if that's straight from the field to fork, like your prices must be pretty cheap then.
Yeah. So, I mean, the farm charges me kind of a very below market average because it all stays in the business. So when the lambs come into me, the farm is only charging me £7 a kilo. Yeah.
Nothing compares to that.
I think I spoke to one of the wholesalers I occasionally speak to. I think he was doing whole lambs at £9.95 a kilo this week.
Yeah.
Mine was $10.40. Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah. That's just
again, it is that with the lamb prices going up, it is that kind of knock-on thing. Like how much of that is actually getting down to the farmer at the bottom end? Like you guys have said before, in terms of how much of that money is actually going down the bottom to the end producer, to the person that is putting all that work and effort.
Yeah. How many people are pinching the pennies out of the pound as it goes down the order?
Yeah.
No. Funny though, isn't it? The £7 isn't bad at all.
No, I mean, to be fair, the first 2 years I was there, they were only charging £5 a kilo into the butchery.
And you're like, I'm not gonna say anything.
And I bet you the people down the road are probably spending like the £7 themselves, and you're getting it at £5. And you could probably sell those lambs onto those people and be like, look, I'll do it at $6.99 a kilo.
Yeah.
And I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah. And I'll deliver it. Yes. Holy shit! But like, how many lambs you going through then a week? Like where you are?
Well, I mean, this week is obviously, let's take this week out, but we're probably on about 4 or 5 a week, I would say.
On average, yeah.
Yeah, on average. So not masses. But again, it's the age-old thing, I can sell the legs all day long, my eyes closed, the middles. It's always the shoulders. It's always the shoulders, but it's the simple things. You can't sell a whole shoulder, but if I whip the bone out and put some strings around it and sell it as a lamb cushion, boom, it's out the door.
funny that, isn't it? It is like
that
simple
bit
little
of extra
dressing.
work. Yeah.
But then then your shoulders are like, what do you say on your shoulders? They're like 15 pounds a kilo?
Yeah. Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what? And then you take the bone out and you put all the dressing and you do everything, put it straight into the window. It's like 40 quid for a boneless rolled shoulder.
Yeah.
When the whole shoulder itself is probably like 28, 30 quid.
Yeah.
There we go.
But they'll buy it. They'll buy it like that. It's this.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's that convenience thing as well.
Yeah, the practicality of
shoulder. If you leave a shoulder bone in, if you're going to do it as a standard roast and not a slow roast, where you can just whip the bone out, then they sometimes can be a bit difficult to carve around. If you don't know where the bones are, like most people.
Yeah.
But yeah, just having the bones out.
Yeah, as soon as you say to them, it's all consumable. You'll be able to eat every part of this. And they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the
no
thing.
waste.
As soon as you put it on the scale and you say, "Oh, that's 40 quid," and they pull a face and go, "Yeah, but that's 40 quid." That you're paying
shit, mate.
You're eating all of that. There's no waste on that. You're eating all of that.
Mm.
But then also, how long are you going to cook the lamb shoulder for? Like people usually do slow roast for like 3 hours. You still get more flavor from the bone anyway. Like you load it up with the garlic, everything that you do with the rosemary and everything, like, and then you just cover it, chuck it in the oven. Even if it is the cushion style, like it's still going to be pulling apart. Like I just save yourself like the 12, 13 quid. And then you discard the bones anyway. Like, I don't know.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
We can't give the bones to the dog because it's cooked and it'll splinter. Yeah. And then you got a big old bill coming your way.
You came in my way. I didn't give it to the dog. They did.
Yeah, but then you don't see them for a month or two, and then they're like, "I'm just regaining because you sold me lamb with bone in."
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's a bit stupid. You shouldn't do that anyway. When you get that on the big jobs.
You do. Yeah. You're heading dangerously close to talking about Doris again. Please don't.
Oh,
yeah. All these customers and their bloody dogs.
Yeah,
mince and fillets, baby.
That's bones. Bones is the worst one.
Really?
Yeah. Have you got any bones? No, not at the moment. I'm breaking down the beef. Well, could you? No, I'm not. I'm not breaking down a whole side of beef so you can have a bone for your dog. No. Come back tomorrow when I've actually broken down the beef for the meat, and I'll give you some bones.
There's a joke there somewhere.
I don't mind waiting. Okay, wait till tomorrow.
I thought you were going to jump in with like the lamb legs. No, this is the way I stand. I thought you were going to.
There's a customer. They come in and they go, "Do you have any bones?" You'd be like, "I'd fall down if I didn't."
You'd be a beanbag.
I know.
No, my pork one is still my favourite.
That was good. Good. Can you score it? 10 out of 10.
Yeah. The thing is, I say it every time. In maybe
don't get it.
Twice.
Yeah, they don't get it. They're here to go, what the fuck is this clown about?
But I remember that I had a counter assistant for a while, Eileen, and she was lovely. And I was working with her for about 7 months before she eventually went, "Oh, I've just worked out why you're saying that."
Sorry, that.
Yeah.
Oh,
we just don't understand.
Would you like it, school? Yes, please.
That was brilliant. I love that. Mine was the one where you're like, "Oh, have you got dripping?" And it's like, unless I don't shake it.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about that one as well. I'm like, "Oh,
yeah."
It is good.
I ran that one past my missus this evening, and she just looked at me and went, "Please don't ever say that to your customers." It's like, that might.
A couple of other people have commented and said, "There's one where it's like, do you sell venison?" You say yes, but it's quite dear.
Yeah.
Good old Ricky.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Always a classic.
How much? So to go back to the boys on the farm that you were saying with your beef, you've got like a wide variety of beef that's been rotated between.
Yeah.
So, what's the price of beef, if you don't mind me asking, on that as well?
So what are we paying? So for a side, $5.70.
That's fairly competitive.
And again, it is like, I think if I buy a roasting, so your rump, your loin, and your rib attached, $11.50.
Okay,
that's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
And again, I'm quite lucky with Jack as well. He'll say to me, "Oh, I've got some cracking Aberdeen Angus this week." I'll say, "I haven't got room for this week." Fine, I'll hold it in my fridge. You let me know when you want it.
It works in roundabouts in that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, Yeah, he knows he's going to get a good sale. He's just got to hold it in his fridge for another week before I can. Because my fridge is 6 foot by 4.
Wow, tiny.
So I am tight. So it's like you guys last time were talking about breaking down like the beef hanging. I would love to do that. Do not have the room. It's got to be all done on the block.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with block work, that's for sure. There's nothing wrong with it. But
I've only been doing on the rail for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got a bloody mansion within a mansion.
Yeah.
he's got walk-in fridge within walk-in fridge within walk-in fridge on top of like a mansion. He's all right. You got plenty of room to play.
In a barn.
In a barn, yeah.
But it's like I said, like obviously we're an old building, like I've said. So the abattoir and the delivery boys hate delivering.
Right.
Hate delivering sides of beef.
Is it proper awkward?
You can't put like full quarter. You cannot have on your shoulder to get into the fridge. You've got to bear hug it in.
Oh.
Bear hug it in, and then to get from the back door up into the butchery, you've got a footstep. So you've got to bear hug it, step up, but crouch down with it.
Yeah. I've done that.
The low door to try and get through, and then you've got to get it round into the. It is an absolute nightmare.
You're better off just taking the saw to it at the back.
Yeah.
It's hanging up, and then just cutting that straight from where the short ribs are. Just go straight down, and then you got like 2 halves.
I mean, yeah, we've had a few in the past when we did have our own beef. We had a few sort of OTMs that were like 200 kilo plus a side, and you're like, sure, I'm breaking that down on my lorry, mate.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to bear hug, lift, and squat and turn.
No.
God, I'm very blessed with the size fridge that I got then.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe if you ask the owners, you like twist their arm a bit. Look, man, we need a bigger fridge.
That's it. Yeah. Safety is for one thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if
they want you to continue working there as you do now, you want your body to be in shape.
We've got things happening in the pipeline. I mean, the difficult thing is with where we are is they are tenant farmers.
Right.
So I don't know. You've heard of Luke? You must have. Have you heard of Third Estate?
Yes.
So it's a big house. They film, Bake Off professionals there. So they own everything around us.
Wow.
So they are tenant farmers. So in terms of, putting the money into the business and things like that, there's kind of a hierarchy above them in terms of, tenancy agreements and leases and stuff like that. And it's not like, with this Third Estate, it's not like there's one person. There's a board of directors and all that. There's not one person running it.
Yeah.
So it just makes everything 10 times more complicated in terms of how long it takes things to happen. And
nothing will get done. It's all done by email. And if you try to call someone, you're just running around in circles, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very much that, which is frustrating at times, but it is what it is. They're used to it after God knows how many years. We kind of just roll with it.
I'm assuming your building might be listed as well, no? So you can't necessarily build onto it.
But yeah, I presume so. Yeah, I mean it is proper Flintstones like type old school barn. Yeah.
There's a couple of farms around us that have farm shops, and they can't build onto their existing building because it's listed.
Yeah,
and they're literally crying out for an extension.
Yeah,
and they can't make it work currently. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Anne.
Yes, Luke.
Spring's coming, and our friends over at Was Sauce Hut are having an exclusive offer for all your cooking needs. When you use code BB15, that's BB15, and get 15% off all purchases.
From gift cards to family and single pack sauces, they range from Luke's favourite apple bourbon sauce to Anne's mango, all the way through to their award-winning Crack and Fury rum-infused hot sauce. Woo! Yeah. Start stacking your shelves and get ready for summer, and most importantly, save yourself some money with the code BB15. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
So, Doug, I just want to get on to your origin story. How did you get into butchery?
Yeah, so I kind of fell into butchery, I suppose. Because I was, I suppose, late to butchery in terms of like some of you guys. So I didn't start till I was 21, 22. But yeah,
late.
I left school wanting to be an actor.
Makes a lot of sense.
and I worked in a sandwich shop.
Greg's.
Yeah, so I mean, after school, I just kind of jumped from like job to job, not really knowing at all what I wanted to do in my life. And then I was a deputy manager at a farm shop, and I got on quite well with the butcher that was there. And he was only 17, 18 at the time when he kind of got left in the shit. The guy that trained him left, and he was on his own to run this whole department. And I was bored as hell, like losing my marbles in the farm shop, like stacking apples and cabbages. I was just bored shitless.
Yeah.
And he wanted help one day to clean his fridge. And that's how it started. I went in and I cleaned his fridge and scrubbed it. And I mean scrubbed it. Like, I was getting toothpicks going along the edge of the fridge wall down the bottom to get all the dried blood out and everything.
Very efficient.
It just went from there. So, yeah, I helped him clean the fridge, and then he needed some help making sausages, so he taught me how to make sausages. And again, that was a farm shop that was kind of like a family thing. So, I mean, they had 2 4-foot counters side by side, and 1 4-foot counter was just sausages. So it's kind of one of those, you do all the different flavors and stuff. And it just went from there, and I realized that I bloody loved it. And weirdly, previous to that, my grandfather had passed away in the January. And all I knew growing up was, he lived in when I sort of remember, he was retired. He lived in the Lake District, just outside Windermere, this beautiful cottage in the middle of nowhere, farmland all around, sheep. He had his own sheep. And I kind of had in my head growing up that, my grandpa was someone quite important. He had quite a good job. It wasn't until his funeral, when his sister was doing talking about his life. My grandpa had been managing director for Weddell Swift for 10, 15 years.
Wow.
And I was thinking, well, okay.
Cool.
Like, he started as a hide buyer and then worked his way up. And although he wasn't, on the cutting floor, he did do, apparently when he started, he said to his boss that, I don't know one end of the cow from the other. So his boss put him, and this was for Weddell's, before it was Weddell Swift. So their office was obviously in Smithfields at the time. So he put my grandpa down on the cutting room floor for like a month. And I think after a month, my grandpa decided, yeah, I'm an office guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a butcher. I'm an office guy. But yeah, it was kind of after that, I was like, kind of don't know anything about the meat industry. I work in this farm shop where there's this butchers, but I don't really know anything about it. And it just kind of grew from there that I wanted to do something, because I was very close to my grandfather. I thought, I want to do something that would make him proud, not just, stack shelves, stuff like that. So I found an interest, and it gradually grew to a love of butchery. So yeah, I think in the August of that year, the owners kind of said, right, we're going to put you into the butchery. Like, I think I worked 5 days. I think they put me 3 days in the butchery, 2 days still in the shop. And I went from there. And then my first Christmas, the week before Christmas, I think it must have been the 17th or 18th.
Oh boy, here we go.
The guy that was training me, Craig, the guy that was the butcher there, his girlfriend phoned me and went, Craig's going into hospital because he's not very well. And it wasn't until the next day I found out he had suspected meningitis.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
So the 17th of December, I was the butcher, bearing in mind I'd only really been in there 3 days a week from August.
Yeah.
No.
So
you're like,
in the run,
time to get going.
Peak in the run up, it was me and the farmer Dennis, who was he was a proper old school farmer. He worked from dawn till dusk, and so he was in the butchery with me, and me and him would get in orders prepped, doing racks of lamb, boning up whole ducks and stuffing them and stuff. But both of us had our phones in front of us on the block, watching YouTube how-to videos on how to do it.
Love that.
We just had a clue.
Brilliant.
I think one of those days, it's still one of those days, I did a 22-hour day. God knows how.
Wow.
Oh.
But I did a 22-hour day, and I was
Slept in the fridge.
So Craig,
Yeah.
and was cleared as being, all right for work on the 22nd. So I worked with him on the 22nd. When I walked in and saw him, I nearly burst into tears. And then the 23rd, when I was meant to go into work for the final day, because we were closed on the 24th, I came down and my flatmates just looked at me and went, "You are not going to work, Doug." I was like, I've got to. And they're like, "Fuck off. You're not going to work. You're going to die.
Go back to bed."
So after that,
Wow.
every Christmas has been a breeze. There's no Christmas that will be as bad as that.
I think we all have one Christmas like that, where it kind of just like,
Yeah.
it's like pedal to the metal and you just fucking, and then everything after that, you're like, this is piss.
Yeah, exactly. I just still clearly remember we had an order for a French rack of lamb, and I'd never French trimmed anything in my life.
You're just there going,
Yeah, that's double check what the rack of lamb was. It's like, oh, is it the best end? Oh, I just put the best end. No, that's the wrap. Oh,
yeah.
and just watching a YouTube video of how to do it. So I did that, and then I wanted them to put me on a proper apprenticeship, obviously, because I discovered I really liked the trade even after that Christmas.
So they did put you on some formal training.
The owner's wife wasn't a fan of me, and they said they were going to put me back in the shop.
Oh.
So I swiftly handed in my notice and left, and I went to a catering butcher's, and I was there for about a year. I learned a lot from those boys because they were all bone hall boys.
Convicts.
Wow, yeah.
They had worked for Anglo-Dutch meats.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a big old factory. So
Yeah.
they knew. I used to work across from this old boy, Sean, who he was an old school butcher, and he just used to talk absolute shite all day long. He had about 6 topics of conversation which would go on a cycle. And the other guys always joked that Sean only had his foot like halfway on the accelerator and couldn't be asked to do the job. So I worked opposite him. I tied, and he boned out the legs of lamb, loins of pork, legs of pork, and I tied them. And that was kind of it for 6 hours a day. And we swapped around one day, and there was a mouthy Turkish guy that worked in there that used to always wind up short and saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing. You're an old boy. You can't do it." And one of the other guys just went, "Go on, Sean, show him." I have never seen a pile of boned out meat build up so quick. He was rapid. It was
nice.
Old. It was. So I learned a lot from those guys because, again, it was me and 7 other guys who have all got different experience, all got different ways of doing things. It'd be frustrating at times, as the apprentice, as the yob, you're in there, you've shown how to do something one way, and then someone comes along and goes, "What the fuck are you doing it like that for? It's a stupid way of doing it. Do this."
Yeah. Yeah.
There were those moments, but, you kind of cherry pick. But I missed customers. I didn't like working without customer interaction.
No.
Again, you're seeing the same 7 blokes every day. The topics of conversation get really tedious and boring.
It just dries up pretty quick after 2 weeks.
And it's 7 butchers, so the humour is dark. The wind-ups are...
Yeah.
Again,
pretty savage.
I was the yob, so I think at least 3 or 4 times... I mean, at no point did anyone ever shit in my boots.
Fuck you, Kenny.
Fuck you, Kenny. I think at least 3 or 4 times I had to, dig my knives out of an ice block or eat cross or welly before I could put them on, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I went from there, and then I went to a proper old school high street butcher's that was, traditional old school. Again, learned a lot there. And then after that, I got to admit, I enjoyed it there, but it was also, again, I was the yob. There was one guy there. "You're never going to make a butcher, Doug.
Wow.
You're a butcher. You're never going to be any good." "Oh, why am I wasting my time showing you stuff? Oh, you..." And it was... That was at the point where I was like, do I really want to be in this trade? Is this... At that point in my career, I was kind of like, right, I've chosen to be a butcher. The money's not too bad. It's better than... I'll stick with it.
Better than working at Tesco's or something.
Yeah, I had no passion for it at that point because I was constantly being told, "Oh, you're a fuck up. You've done that wrong. Are you too slow? oh, your sausages are too thick, your sausages are too thin, you're making sausage, like all of that. And it was just constantly grinding me down.
Yeah.
And then I had a really shit day. And then just on the off chance, a job advert popped up for butchery manager at Booker's. And I'd had management experience, not in butchery, but I'd managed shops and stuff before. Wing it. Why not? Apply for it. It was the world's worst application form. I think every question had about like 4-word answers, but I got it. I got it. And I worked for Booker's for 6 years. And yeah, that was a different experience. You know, it's wholesale. It was obviously there was no breaking down. It was portion control.
That was in the butchery, then, I assume, not the actual shop, larger shop itself.
Yeah, so every Booker branch has a butcher's.
Yeah.
I mean, so I started managing Eastbourne and then made a success of that, and then they moved me over to Brighton. That is a branch that has its whole other set of problems in terms of too many cooks and all that, and yeah,
too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Too many chiefs. That's the one. Yeah. That's the phrase I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And yeah, so left there, and then I worked at a place called Sussex Meat Company, which was very much a what was it? Phil said, stack it high, sell it cheap. What was it?
Yeah,
stack it high, watch it fly.
Yeah, it was very much that. Like, we were getting in Dolab pallets full of this frozen, like, rejected Aldi and Lidl's meat and stuff like that, and opening up the pack and defrosting that. And it was, I mean, I was there for 8 months until the owner did a runner just after Christmas.
Sounds about right.
Because all the people he owed money to, he just fucked.
Like thousands, like millions.
Wow.
Shit.
But it was at that point I was like, even before Christmas, I was like, this isn't the type of butchery I want to do. Like, we were buying in these pallets of like Brazilian or Polish ribeyes, and you open up a case, and out of 6, 4 of them absolutely stink because they haven't been gas flushed properly, and it's like, this is not what I want to do. And then, Middle Farm, luckily, the owner, like I say, did a runner at Christmas. Middle Farm's head butcher walked out just after Christmas, and it was kind of kismet. So I emailed them, sent my application in, and went from there. I kind of re-found my passion. There was Middle Farm for 3 years. There was a 6-month break where I went to another shop and was promised the earth, and again didn't work out. But Middle Farm is really where I found my passion again for the trade, like love of the trade. Like, the owners are brilliant, Helen and Rod. Like, they employ me to run the butchery, so they don't come in and go, "What are you doing? What's that? What's this? What's that?" They've employed me to run the butchery. They trust me to run the butchery.
Yeah.
It is my butchery to a certain extent. Big decisions and changes, obviously, I'd run past them, but what I sell, what price I sell, how I sell it, that's up to me.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I have complete control over who I buy from, which is absolutely game changing in terms of not having, a bigger boss say, actually, I'd rather you got a cheaper one in, so we're making more margin.
Yeah.
They're very much, we're in a very affluent area. We've got a lot of foodies. We've got 3 or 4 villages around us that are, a lot of people from London live there at the weekend. We've got Brighton and Hove down the road, which again is obviously very affluent. We've got Lewis, which in places is very affluent. So we're really lucky to be in a good place where the customers we get, they know their food, know what it should cost them, and they're willing to pay it. If I've got customers that come in and they want a 75-day aged T-bone, fine, I'll do it. You're paying for it. It's just going to be a lot of wastage when I take off, what needs to come off of that. But they're like, yeah, I get that. I'll pay it. That's fine.
That's good.
So we're in a really, really lucky position. And like I say, I've just really found my passion for it. Because that was the thing when I was working at the other place. It got to a point, my dad came down to see me from Scotland. And obviously, I like my barbecue and my Traeger. he wanted some, proper smoked ribeye.
Yeah.
So I went somewhere else and got the ribeye. Oh, it was at that point, it was like, I work in a butcher shop. I get a meat allowance, but I'm not willing to eat the meat myself.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
That's an alarm. That's alarm bells there that I need to be,
chalking up
something else. And I was lucky enough, Middle Farm, I held my hands up and I said to them, made a mistake, grass isn't greener, can I come back? And they took me back. And I've said to them, a million times, you cut me in half now and there's a Middle Farm written down the middle of me. I'll absolutely love it.
You got to get the tattoo on you soon, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to get the logo tattoo.
Yeah. That'll be good.
It's nice having that independence, isn't it? And having like a bit of full control under the backing as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's what I say to Ryan, my apprentice, is what I've said from day one. Is it's about taking the ownership of the butchery and having that pride in your work. When repeat customers keep coming week after week, they're not coming because it's Middle Farm butchers. They're coming because they want to see what Doug and Ryan have got on the counter.
Yeah.
It's all about those relationships and taking pride in what you're putting out.
Because people invest into people and like the product, like we've said before, the product might be 6 out of 10, but the customer service is 10 out of 10. So that makes up for it. And if your customer service is 5 out of 10, but the product's, 8 out of 10, like people just tend to go, I'm going to leave that product and I'm going to find someone with better like customer service. It always comes down to it at the end of the day.
Yeah, they trust you. They trust you.
And they want to talk to you.
I kind of instill from day one, a customer walks in, you say hello. They might only come and have a look and then they're going to bugger off again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly the same. You break down that first barrier.
Yeah. You say, so it's got plugging my laptop in before it dies.
Oh, no.
Rookie.
Right. Sorry, guys.
Hey, mine's on. Wow. It's the customer report, because it goes so far.
Yeah.
It's like, it really does. It can be understated, to be honest.
Mm.
I really don't think it can be.
Well, word of mouth is the best form of advertisement, isn't it? It's free.
Yeah.
People pass that on. It works, like, no, you can have like 100,000 5-star reviews, but then, what's the customer service like? Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
then, if you're a fucking prick once, that's going to go so far.
Those old school butchers that just run and moan at the customers.
Yeah.
And, 2 points. Right. Yeah. And not going to come back. No. Or if they are coming back, why? This place is where it gets spoken too much better.
Yeah. I know. It's funny, isn't it?
It's really, I just I saw as well on the Middle Farm Instagram that the Ryan, your apprentice, was on TV.
Yes, he was. I am immensely proud of that boy.
So it wasn't like a "Have you seen this man"?
No, he wasn't crying much. He wasn't crying much either.
No.
So funny enough, so Ryan came to me through Plumpton,
right?
Through a kind of back to work scheme for people with additional needs and things like that. Like Ryan's quite open about it. He does have autism, but he came to me through this back to work program. He'd been at another butcher's. He'd worked as an apprentice at another butcher's, and they treated him like shit.
Wow.
It was proper bottom of the barrel, like just constantly ripping the piss out of him, not showing him anything, not giving him a chance, and it just knocked the guy down to the floor.
Yeah.
To the point, when they first came to me, Plumpton, I said, because when Ryan first came to me, it was a once a week, back to work, try and get him back into the workplace, get him used to, things like getting the bus on his own and stuff like that, and just getting out there.
Yeah.
But I saw something. You put a knife in that boy's hand and show him something, the confidence is there, and he's just grown and grown. Like, he takes in everything I say to customers, whether it be like cooking and advice or, traceability, origin of where the animals come from, why we've done it like that. He takes it all in like a sponge and feeds it back to the customers.
Mm.
And
Really good.
yeah, like customers love him, and he wants to learn. And he is, like I say, we're a 2-man team, so it's me and him. That's it. There's no one else. So for an apprentice, probably he does have quite a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, because when I'm not there, he's in charge.
Mm.
And even when he is there, I'm relying on him. He's my right-hand man. It's not like I've got another trained butcher and then the two of us kind of show the apprentice things. It is just the two of us.
Yeah.
And he does brilliantly with it. Like, we've now, over the last couple of weeks, his like sausage making and things like that has come on brilliantly. So I can now leave him to make all the sausages.
Good.
Which, in terms of, I mean, you guys know how much time that takes. I mean, we do 10 different flavors every week at the moment. Come summer, we do 16 different flavors.
Shit.
Wow.
What kind of kilos are you putting out for each batch?
Yeah.
Each batch is probably about between sort of 18 and 20 pound a batch.
That's pretty good. It's a good size.
Yeah. I mean, it does us. I mean, we're making them. We only make them twice a week. You know, you make them for beginning of the week, for during the week, and then you make them for the weekend to clear out over the weekend.
That's still like pushing 150 kilos of sausages.
Yeah.
It's literally nothing to be sniffed at. That's some serious swags coming out right there.
Christmas, I was doing that every day in the run up to Christmas.
Fuck yeah.
Yo, you need to, doesn't it? It's Christmas and people coming in prior to, and it's like, I know I'm early, but, you know, can I get 40 pigs and blankets and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sausage meat bags as well, you know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can now leave him to do that. I mean, he's doing brilliantly as well. Like, so we've got, I don't know if you saw, he came up with his own sausage recipe.
Well, that's what we wanted to ask you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an instant success. His tutor, Henry, probably won't like me to admit it because he said it to me in confidence, but I don't care. I'm proud of the boy. It was the best
Shout out, Henry.
he's ever had from an apprentice.
What was it?
Buffalo chicken and blue cheese.
Fuck yeah.
And it is,
So mention that is fucking bomb.
Yeah.
it's all kinds of naughty. It's lovely. Absolutely.
Did he make the buffalo sauce by scratch? Or was it?
No, so we use the dry buffalo. Well, we started off using the one from Angus and Oink,
Oh, yeah. Good.
but that got a bit pricey. So Leonard's ingredients have just created a brand new buffalo, like allergen free, really nice dry rub. So we now use that. So the chicken gets marinated for 2 days
Ooh.
with the skin on,
Yes. Good man.
in on sausages. For 2 days, and then we mix it in with proper nice. I use Colston Bassett blue cheese.
Oh, that is some stankin' cheese.
So, and they just work. And the thing is as well, I'm enjoying eating. Don't make a mini out of this, please. I'm enjoying eating sausage loads more now because I haven't got bacon anymore.
Let's get that one up, Keith.
Yeah, get that clipped up. But yeah, because again, Ryan takes pride in his work. Like he gets the sizing right, and all it was like, you know, he first starts making them. I was just like, first batch, I was a little bit too thick. Do you want to do next batch? Perfect.
Yeah.
Think up for the first time. Like, oh, actually, they're a bit long. You just shorten it down a bit. Next batch, perfect. Like, in terms of apprentice, I really struck gold. Hoping I can recreate it by getting a second apprentice now. It's the same. Got a lot to fill him up to if we do get one.
I think you've instilled that work ethic in him as well.
Yeah.
And the passion for it. You know, if you say it's you two, that's quite intense. With me, it's just me and Dan. That can get quite intense. And it's like, you joke about having the same conversations over and over again. But when it's just two of you and you're proper vibing off each other working, it's kind of golden at times, isn't it?
And that's the thing, is you find someone that has the same work ethic of you. You find someone that's got a similar interest. I mean, me and Ryan are both great big nerds, so we talk about, you know, what you're playing on the Xbox, what films you're watching, you know,
nice,
all of that, and it just the days flow by. I mean, he's similar to me. He doesn't take any bloody holiday, so I've had to throw all his holiday at him. So I haven't had him for more than a day for the last month.
Oh, it's good.
God, do I miss him? So like today is just me in the run up to like.
Yeah. There's only so many conversations you can have with yourself.
There's only so many conversations you can listen about us talking on the podcast.
yeah, 10 hours of YouTube boys talking in my ear. But like tomorrow when he walks in, I'm fully planning on breaking down and having a little cry into his shoulder.
Well, yeah.
Just a safe pair of hands that I can go, right, you serve and fill the counter. I'm going to go and break the beef ready for the weekend, you know?
Ah, amazing.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So I'm he's got it in the blood. His granddad's a butcher as well.
Right.
I worked with his granddad at another place. What I like as well, though, is the family joke is now with his nan is that it's nice to have a good butcher in the family finally.
No, savage.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Can you tell us why he was on the television?
So that was just about promoting the back to work scheme. So it's I can't remember, a little gay farm. So it's all about getting people with additional needs into the workplace, and just because they got additional needs doesn't mean they can't bloody work like the rest of us. I mean, I've worked with people that don't have additional needs that you're like, I think you do have something wrong with you, mate, because you're not fucking working and pulling your finger out. I mean, that was filmed way back in October as well. Like they came in and they interviewed us. They had all. I mean, I put it on the Instagram. The setup. They had the proper big camera and the lights and the little umbrella thing. And it was But I did when I first got on the camera. I did kind of do that Ricky Bobby thing because I was like,
"What do I do with my head?
What do I do with my hand?" I don't know. So I just did the old school tucking in the apron, didn't I?
Yeah, you look good, man. Both of you did look really good.
The only thing with that video is my mustache did not look good in that video.
Now looking fine tonight.
It looks lovely tonight, but it was very thin and wispy back then. That's the first thing I remember when I met you first time, and face to face. You went, "Oh, I was hoping the mustache would be bigger." That's it. That's the first thing you said to me.
Yeah. It was tiny. It was like little. It was just teeny tiny. I was like, "Oh man."
Hi, and I'm like, "No, I thought your mustache should be bigger." Oh, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, a big old hug anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at Sizzle Fest.
Yes, Sizzle Fest. Yeah.
Yes,
Sizzle Fest.
Yeah, you were one of the butchers I hit up. You, Ryan, and Doug. You, Ryan, and Carl.
Yes, yeah, Butcher Wars. Yeah, that was a great day. Like proper butchers meet up, just getting to do some fun stuff on stage and show off. And yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
such a good day.
You performed really well on that day, but
yeah, I performed well. But bloody Carl won, didn't he?
I wasn't in charge of that either. I was only just hosting it. But fuck me, man, you boys were like sweating on stage because you guys were on the main stage as well.
Yeah,
that was a hot day for September. It was really good.
What would have been bad is if during the sausage linking challenge, if whoever had made the sausage just stabbed a load of holes and put a load of bloody tears in there, that would have been awful, wouldn't it? And
yeah, so I did do the self-sabotage.
Yeah.
So what?
Explain. Yeah. So I made up 100 kilos and I put them into 3 lots. And then when I was doing it, so I would do some really thick ones. So I would hold the skin really tight, and so I went really thick, and then I would let it go, and so there'll be sausage skin, kind of like with nothing in it, and then there'll be really, so it'll be like really thin, and then I was like, all right, these are like really nice, like how they are.
To link them up as uniform as possible when you got that code feeding them out like that.
And then I got the toothpick and I started popping like kind of like every other meter, and I was like trying to do it, and I was like, all right, because you got to add like a bit more of a challenge, wasn't it? Because
a bit of drama.
Yeah, it's for the juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really good. You guys just performed just amazing. It was really good, and I was very proud of you as well. But Carl won it. Best man won, even though he's the smuggest bastard we know.
Oh, he is the smuggest bastard we know. Yeah. Won't ever let us forget that he won.
No, he won't. He'll take photos. He'd be like, "You remember when I won this?" And he'd be like laying down with it. Yeah. But that's a fantastic day out. I think there was. For the day, I think there was like 35, 45 of us, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And then there was like just pods of people, and then you could just spot where all of us butchers were because we were all huddled together. And George Donnelly was there, Lisa Donnelly, fucking DC, Harry, it just Westy, everyone was there. It was just and Simon Maynard as well. Me and him did that.
Shout out to Simon. Love that boy.
Love him. Love him. He's mentioned on here a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, love him so much.
He's my little bro, Sid. We talk at least once a week at the moment, just chatting.
I'll give him that 2-minute call and he'd be like, "Oh, bro," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just calling to tell you that I love you and I hope you have a nice week." And he's like, "Oh, you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll talk to you later." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
That's what I love about Australia, and that's what I found, especially over the last, because it was 3 years ago, when I joined Middle Farm, I discovered Instagram and Instagram butchery. Because they had a marketing team at the time. They were like, "Oh, you should put your things on Instagram." And I was like, "Never used Instagram, don't know what I'm doing." And they were like, "Well, just give it a try." And just this whole world opened up in terms of like seeing the work that's out there from other butchers and finding this little, it might be a cliche, but it's true. It's the whole hashtag Big Butcher family. It's just...
Yeah, we're very proud of it. It's brought all of us together and like far and wide. There's people you just wouldn't think you would ever talk to, and you're like,
no.
You speak to like every week, and we're all tagging each other and stuff, sending memes to each other, now making podcasts with each other.
Yeah, across the world. It's great.
Yeah.
And
really cool.
And I was a massive fan of Luke as well. Fanboying over here, and then with me. He was like, "Let's make a podcast." And I was like, "Oh, okay." we got so many people to speak to.
Yeah, definitely. And it is like, you do kind of, is a little bit like, you kind of lock on to these people that you start watching their page and I remember the first time I met Johnny Farrell, like I was with my dad because we were up in Manchester at the time and he was like, "Just calm down, Doug." I was like, "I'm going to go beat him." Johnny Farrell. He was like,
"Yeah,
calm down." And I walked in, "All right, mate, how's it going?" "All right."
It's a nice gaff you got here.
Yeah, it's all right. That's inside. I'm going, "Oh, it's Johnny."
It's funny, isn't it?
You lock onto these people and you see their passion, like yourselves, like Simon, like George, everyone. You just see their passion. You're like, "That's a bit of me. That is. That's what I think. That's what I feel."
You got that fire.
Yeah,
it's in there.
Yeah, I love it.
In different ways, different sort of avenues of how to express it, but everyone's got that fucking dog in them, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
You find your way with advice, and I've certainly noticed over the last year, I've moved away from doing the value added and stuff. I was very much at the beginning, I've got to have something nice, to go on, and I'm like,
you get that?
Not what we're really about now at Middle Farm.
Yeah.
Customers still ask for it, don't get me wrong, I'll still do my Kievs every now and then or something like that. But they want to come in because they want to know exactly what farm it's come from. So it's kind of like the bread and butter, I don't need to do value added because I can sell chicken breast because I'm selling a good quality Sutton hoof straight off the, breast that I'm taking off the chicken myself. And sell that all day long. So I don't need to. And so I think like Instagram has helped me a little bit as well, is finding what it is I want to do in the trade and taking advice and picking little ideas from people, just saying, "Oh, that might work in my shop," or "That won't work in my shop."
Yeah.
Sorry, Bet. There's no pineapples in my shop. Sorry, Bet.
He messaged Luke, didn't he? And he goes, "Oh, Ant doesn't like the old pineapple." It didn't make any sense.
For that for years.
It doesn't make any sense though. Yes, the one best pork product, like in the WBC, but you were doing a Queen coronation, like what? Yes, it's like amazing, great job. I love it, but I don't love it. It didn't make any sense. But I speak to Ben every so often as well. He just messages whenever he wants. He just comes and goes.
Yeah,
he's a busy young man.
He's great.
He's got 3 bloody corgis as well. He's got 3 corgis.
He's like the Queen.
Yeah, and he let the Queen down over the WBC. Taken. Back to your sausages. Run us through what you put it in.
What is in what we use?
Yeah, man.
Oh, see, I'm going to be controversial now.
Here we go.
You know what I'm going to say then? Yeah, that's why you asked me.
Yeah, baby.
We are a packet. We use a packet mix as a base.
Yeah.
Because like I say, there is 2 of us. At one point it was just me.
Yeah.
And 2 last year, it was just me. And if I'm making that level of sausages, which again, that was my choice to make that level.
Yeah.
Then pack it all day long. But I know what's going into those packets because I'm using a family business 20 minutes down the road where I can ring the MDs and say, Ellie, John, can you do this? Or what's in there? You know, so yeah, we do use packet as a base and then add things to it, fresh ingredients, change them up slightly.
Yeah.
In terms of ease, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Convenience.
Convenience, consistency. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's the same every time.
Yeah. I think there's definitely an argument to be made for package seasoning.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I first went to Middle Farm, it was just me. And in terms of taking that extra time, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but, you know, it's like you said yourself, Anne, you've got to have your processes in to make life easy for yourself. So, you know, when we're breaking down pork, so I do my choppings in 4 kilos. So it's 4 kilos of meat. So when I'm breaking down, the trim goes in a 4 kilo vat bag and it's in there then. So when I then go to make my sausages, I'm not weighing up pork trim. I can just grab a bag and know, right, that's enough for one chopping. And it's the same with the mixes. I know that all I need to do is grab a bag of trim, put it through the mincer, and there you go. I've got my sausage mix, running through the filler, you're done. You know, you've made a chopping of sausages.
Yeah, so
5 minutes.
Those precious seconds will add up, huh? Like they really do over the course of a day or several mixes.
And it was important for me though to get the right mixes. So I wanted to make sure they were gluten-free, but good gluten-free, because there is a lot of gluten-free out there that is arse.
My bad.
But so everything I use is Leonard's ingredients. Shout out Leonard's.
Yeah,
Shout out
legends.
And like Ellie and John, brother and sister, their mum's involved as well, but I've not met the big boss. I only deal with Ellie and John. And they're brilliant. Like I can phone Ellie and say, not too sure on the last batch of mixes, and before I know it, she's done, you know, full investigation. We had an issue with some of their burger mix. It started getting a bit salty one batch. Send her a little message. Before I know it, they've had a full investigation. She's pulled packets off the shelf. She's done testing on it, and it's just nice to have that kind of knowledge.
Backing.
Yeah, that back in that relationship. And again, like I've done work with them. I mean, Luke, you know, I was at Plumpton with them, sort of promoting their stuff.
That's great stuff.
We've got some exciting stuff coming. So me and Ellie have come up with an idea for a new rub.
You got to call it Big Doug's meat rub?
No, we've got the whole. I mean, we've come up with this. We've come up with this whole rub purely for this whole advertising campaign of a video of me doing something. And
I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I can't wait.
But yeah, and I would love to say to a customer, you know, oh, we use all fresh ingredients to it, but we do. You know, I make a pork and leek sausage. Yes, I use their gluten-free porky leeky mix, which has got dried leeks in. But then I'll also throw in fresh leeks as well, because if you have a pork and leek sausage, there's some fucking leeks in it, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
And again, same with like I said, our cider barn banger. So yeah, I use their pork and apple mix, but I put in proper fresh cider from the cider barn, you know, not just, you know, Strongbow or something out of the shop. Proper, decent, scrumpy. And again, when our fresh apples are in season, you know, we've got freshly squeezed apple juice over there. I'll do pork and apple sausage mix, and I'll soak the pork in that proper apple juice, you know, unpasteurized. It's just gone through the presser, and it's proper apple juice like you should be.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah, I know there can be a bit of snobbiness about using packet mixes, but then it's about using the right meat, getting the ratio right. So I think their recommendation of how much meat to water to rusk would give you a sausage of about 75% meat content.
Yeah.
Whereas I up the pork and down the water, so you've got about 85-90%, because that's what customers want. They want a pork, so they want a meat sausage.
Yeah.
Again, you have those conversations with customers. Well, have you just got a sausage that's got nothing in it? What do you mean nothing in it? Well, it's just pork and that's just pork mince shoved into a bit of skin. That's not sausage. It's not.
Yeah, there's some old school styles.
that's not going to be nice to eat, and that's not what you want.
It's got to dry out as well, and then it's got no flavor, and they're going to put tomato sauce or gravy on it, and then it defeats the purpose even putting that into a sausage skin or mincing it or using electricity.
And it is that. I mean, so we've got their mixes, like their Cumberland mix. But with that one bag of pre-done mix, I've got about 5 or 6 different recipes where I add in different ingredients. I use that Cumberland as a base.
Yes.
But then I add in other different things to make, we've got like our Italian mix, which again, they made for me gluten-free. I do 6 different sausages with that one mix because I add in different things. I add in garlic paste or fresh garlic cloves, smoked garlic from Garlic Farm that we have in the farm shop to make our garlic supreme sausage.
The Isle of Wight stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I use, proper chopped tomatoes and mozzarella cheese to make our pizza margherita sausage. And there's no different to having a packet mix to pre-weighing out your rusk and then your spices and herbs. It's just it saves you time.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
No, exactly. Yeah, and you're utilizing one item over a course of different styles, and it works. And plus, those recipes, and it's all hand-eye, and then your mixes, and it just cuts down that time as well. Like, it's not. I don't think it's snobby at all. I just like to be nosy. That's all. But when I did it and I opened my own shop, I was like, right, I'm going to make everything gluten-free with the fresh ingredients and that as well. Yeah. And that was the route I went. And same with Johnny and same with so many other people. But you're utilizing that packet, but you're doing a great product. And plus, it's all about the meat and the providence and everything you're doing. Like, all that's there. You're just enhancing it.
And we're up to 52, 53 different recipes.
Yeah, amazing.
And we do, like I say, 10 different ones each week at the moment. Come summer, that'll be 16 different ones. And I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for the fact that I'm having to make 150 kilos worth of sausage every week. If packets was that bad or like that is my favourite thing to hear from a customer. Is when they come in and go, I heard about your steak. I heard about your sausages. I've been told to come down and try this. That's like you said yourself, Anne, word of mouth is the best advertising and it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nothing better than knowing that someone's had something from your butchery and gone and mentioned it to a friend.
Yeah.
The fact that the first word out of their head is, I've been told to come down and try such and such is
brilliant. And they've taken the time to do it.
Sausages.
Yeah.
I've got a bloke that comes down from London once a month and buys 5 kilos of my beef and horseradish sausages.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
And again, that is using the beef and horseradish mix. But then I also put in Trackleman's proper hot horseradish sauce in to give it a bit more kick.
Oh, yeah, man.
And rather than like just putting the beef in dry, I marinate the beef overnight in a beef stock to give it a real beefy flavour.
Yeah.
Because it's just about taking that time to put that little bit extra in rather than just opening a packet and chucking it in.
Yeah.
I think if I'm going to use packet mix, I want to do it right and make sure all the other ingredients that are going in with that are right.
Yeah. It helps that you know what's in the packets. Like you say, you've got that transparency with Leonard's.
Yeah.
You can give them a text. You can call them. Who says they can do that with their packaged seasoning? Most people just get it delivered from halfway across the country.
Yeah. And that is the joy, is they are. I mean, I'm still waiting for them to invite me for the factory visit, just saying, Ellie and John, just saying.
And to meet the big boss.
And to meet the big boss. But yeah, they're 20 minutes down the road. And again, it's the same as it's those relationships. Even my sundries, Wheeled Packaging, shout out for Wheeled Packaging.
Shout out.
Again, they are 20 minutes down the road from me. And if I have a problem, something's missing off the delivery, everything's 20 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle, but everything is 20 minutes. Well, the way I drive, everything's 20. Glasgow. Down the road. And again, it's about having those relationships, like I say, Mark at Wild, certain things even things like cleaning products or different kind of packaging. Do you do this? No, I don't. Let me make some phone calls, get back to you. The next day, here's what I can do. Here are the prices. And he's doing that because it's a smaller company that are just down the road and they want to have that relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, I know with my surname, I should probably be using DLs, but nah, don't want to because I've got this relationship with my local suppliers. They're small family-run businesses, same as we are. So why wouldn't I want to support them?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same. It all works in one big circle. Like with all those small family businesses, especially the farms. You start with the farm, you start with like Leonard's down the road, and then it is a forever evolving door. And it's great.
Yeah. Very cool.
I love it. But yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait for your advertisement for your new rub to come out. And now I'm really interested. I want to know. You're not going to tell me, are you?
Rub. That's rub.
You bastard.
No clues given away, but we have come up with this whole rub just purely for the campaign, I think.
Good. I'm here for it.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm here for it as well. This is going to be good. Right. Do you want to move over to the guest questions, big man?
Oh, am I big man or is he big man? Who's big man?
You're big man. Big Butcher Doug. Yeah.
Big Butcher Doug. Untechnical difficulties, Luke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
All right, ready? So, first on the list, top of the bucket list.
So again, it's really bringing out my nerdisms here, but I would love to visit Lego House in Denmark with my boy.
Wow.
We are proper Lego nerds and I.
Yes, you are.
Legoland is a yearly trip. Me and him go to Lego Club once a week and build just anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Lego House in Denmark.
Oh, amazing. Have you seen Lego Masters New Zealand?
Yes, we love that. Lego Masters Australia is better though. We like the Australians.
Yeah. I think the Kiwis are like they really do put on a good show, but their accent's hilarious, even to me.
Sorry, let me clarify. I like the Australians that stay in Australia. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
That's personal.
Yeah.
I think that. I thought about what's on my bucket list. I don't want to skydive or bungee jump. I'm a big fat bloke. I'll go splat. I don't want to do that. That's a big old mess as I'm going to tear up. Let me just go to Denmark and play with Lego, please. Okay?
Yeah. Very good.
That's awesome. I love that. Second, 3 people to invite to dinner, dead or alive, and why?
Oh, see, it's a tough one. I mean, the top of the list, mainly because I've just bought 4 tickets to his latest tour, has got to be Greg Davis.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
Good.
I didn't see that coming.
I love that big tool bastard.
He's brilliant. He's so funny.
Brilliant. I've seen him every tour he's done. Yeah, I'm a little bit of fanboy. Did the whole stage door thing. I've got a picture with me next to him, and I look like a 4-foot dwarf. It's ridiculous.
Wow. I love him in Taskmaster as well. Him and Alex are just hilarious. They do it really well.
That's got to be guest 2, is Alex, isn't it? Alex Horn.
Yeah, Alex Horn is great.
Yeah.
What about your third then?
Third guest. Oh, I don't know. Well, just invite everyone. Big Butcher families. Just have a big get together.
We're one conglomerate.
Yeah.
One entity.
It's all just cook. Yeah.
But we're all going to be over at the Smoke and Fire Festival for the Butcher Wars.
Yeah, I would do need to get my tickets sorted for that, to be fair.
Yeah, they're only like £20.
A lot of people coming for that. I mean,
there's a lot. We got Brett Law. We got everyone coming, man. That's going to be insane.
Well, I don't think it's getting the tickets for the actual event to sort. I think it's working out which hotel is close by that I can then collapse in afterwards.
It's on like a strip, like on a high street, and I think there's heaps around.
Oh, is there?
But our media marketer is going to drive me because Luke and I are going to get inebriated. Oh, yes. They're going to sink and delete some tins while we're there. And then it's like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. You got the Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. And I'm going from there to watch that. So it's going to be a long weekend.
You're not going to make it till 4.
You don't know me. Third on the list, where do you see the future of butchery going?
it's always a tough one, isn't it?
It is.
Because I would like to think that we are slowly phasing out the cheap and cheerful.
No.
You know, we all know there are butchers there that have got local produce written across the top of their shops, but you also know that they're getting deliveries from the wholesaler every week of Polish fillets and stuff.
Locally sourced, I like to say.
Yeah, locally sourced. Yeah. And again, I've worked in places like that. You know, where you've got, you know, we were getting in pre-cut tomahawks, and people go, "Oh, is it local meat?" Yeah, local from Krakow or something like that. You know, it's. So I'd like to think there is definitely, in a way, I think for some butchers, COVID was a good thing, because the butchers that got it right in terms of the customers going, "Oh, I don't want to use supermarkets," the butchers that got it right have managed to hold on to a lot of those new customers.
Mm.
I mean, I wasn't at Middle Farm at the start, but I've got a good few regular customers that I know came to Middle Farm during the COVID times because they didn't want to use supermarkets, and we've kept them, and they shop well and they spend well.
Good.
So I think in terms of the future, that I think there's definitely a lot more younger people like can I say like us? We're all in our 30s. We're still young.
Well, you're only 21, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I am 21. I've just had a really hard paper round. But I think that there's a lot more younger people that are actually starting to take an interest in knowing where their meat's from, and they're not. Well, they might be nervous to go into the butchers, but again, it's those of us that are getting it right that are, you know, people or like you get those questions going, "Oh, I'm not too sure how do I cook a pork chop?" And an old school butcher would go, "Well, fucking idiot, don't know how to cook pork." No, but let's talk them through it. Let's teach them that you don't have to absolutely nuke a pork chop, that you can have it blushing, and how to get that fat, you know, nice and crispy, and that crackling crunchy. But let's teach them. Let's get them excited about food so that they keep coming back to you.
Yeah,
that's where I'd like to see the future going. Is the phasing out of, not the phasing out of the old school butchers, because some of those boys know their stuff and they are
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, let's make coming to the butchers a bit more of an exciting thing, and it's stuff that you're proud of you're selling.
Yeah.
And you can say with confidence, you know, it's not butcher BS. You know, that does come from a farm 20 minutes up the road. They're all 20 minutes.
Yeah, so what's nice for you?
All 20 minutes. But yeah, that's where I see it.
Amazing. I like it. I like your outlook on that as well, getting the people fired up again to putting good food back on their plate, you know, instead of poisoning themselves at the supermarkets and those other butcher shops that are locally sourced, you know.
Yeah.
It's trying to get that message across as well.
Education.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's being consistent, and even if you're having a bad day, and you're still putting on a smile for that next customer as well. You know?
I mean, it's like you said. I mean, you've said it before about having that whole kind of talking through the customer, how to cook it and things like that. I've had customers that have bought Traegers off the back of conversations with me. And I remember, like, in the summer last year, someone came in and was like, and I remember quite clearly, they were like, "Oh, hi there. And I've just bought a smoker and I'm not too sure what to do. Can you help?" And all I remember is the girl that was on the till at the time just going, "Oh, God."
Like, don't get him started.
Get a good 20-minute, half hour from me on what they needed.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but it's about, talking to the customers all the way through in terms of, this is the best way to cook it. These are the best things to have with it. I'm lucky that I'm in a farm shop that is absolutely brimming with brilliant stock. You know, these are the best sauces. These are the best rubs to go with it. We've got these veg. Yeah.
No, brilliant.
It just sells itself after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like, and when you also just want to go back as well, when you said, like, when you get those customers who like, I need to come and check out your shop and everything. I think the initial beginning of that is dug in. And then you're like, yes, I dug. And then they're like, oh, my friend told me I need to come and try these chicken and blue cheese sausages, you know, where they're like, those are good beginning points for new customers.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Number 4, death row meal.
So when we're getting starter, main, dessert, and a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So starter has got to be, and it's you know when you have those one meals that you constantly remember.
Yes.
My mum at the time was living up in Inverness, and we went to this little, you know, the old Crofters Cottage up in Scotland. They're absolutely teeny tiny.
Yeah.
There was a restaurant there that was only open during sort of tourist season, and they did these deviled lamb's kidneys.
Ooh.
I still have wet dreams about them. They were just amazing. So I'd have those. And then... Why are you laughing? It's all right to have wet dreams about food. Don't laugh at me.
No, I know that. I know the feeling.
Can I just have a mixed grill of like everything? Like
Whatever you want.
chicken wings, pork belly, burnt ends. Let's get some rump on the go. Let's get some ribeye on the go. If it's come off the Traeger, I want that for my main dish.
Amazing.
Nice.
Any smoker, anything that's been cooked with fire, I'll have.
What about you?
I'll tell you what I will have is I'll have a tomahawk that's been cooked by Tom, smoke-faced griller. Just once, I want to try some of his steak.
Yeah, we need to get ourselves up north and get onto him and Farrell.
Yeah.
They do some stunning stuff.
Yeah. And then dessert. That's main course.
Yeah.
I mean, how good are you in terms of getting this sorted? Because she's not been with us for the last 3 years, but my mother-in-law's lemon meringue pie is still the best dessert I've ever had.
We have unlimited resources here at Butcher's Bar.
I mean, annoyingly, she didn't write the recipe down, and my other half had promised to learn or teach herself how to make it. I'm still waiting. But yeah, lemon meringue pie, and then a nice big horn of proper meat. I'll do, mate.
Oh, I love it.
Hey.
I love it. We got smoked meats. We got wet dream kidneys and lemon meringue pie. That's awesome. Last question. Are aliens real?
Yes, of course they are.
Do you have any proof to back that up?
Yeah.
Well, 2 of them are in bed in my house at the moment. They are little alien shits, yeah. Oh, but yeah, they've got me. We cannot be that naive and self-centered to think in all this space that is out there and all the galaxies that we're the only ones that decided to get up and walk on 2 legs and all that.
Yeah, come out of the ocean and start walking on land.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't think they've ever visited us. They've probably flown past, looked, and gone, wind up the windows, stop it.
Earth? No, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earth's a place all the alien. You don't want to go there. You'll get your tires nicked. Yeah.
I don't think aliens have tires on, even if they had spacecrafts.
Your flux capacitor there.
You see what? You don't know.
Well, have you seen Luke's car?
And
That's all myself.
Oh,
I fixed the brakes. We're all good.
oh, well done. You can stop. Well done, mate.
I can. So there's no longer a horrendous grinding noise. I'm not sure aliens have that problem.
It was like 10 p.m. He's sending me videos of him replacing like brake discs and everything, and I was sitting in bed like, fuck that.
Yeah. It's good fun. I enjoy it.
You're mental. I love it.
Thank
Aliens
Aliens are real.
are, yes. 100%. I wanted to bring in a new segment as well. This is like applies to us as butchers, and well, if other people can, be creative enough. But I was thinking, you know how we all have dads and our mums, and you got your blue jobs and your pink jobs. I wanted to bring in another segment. Is if your dad can't break beef, you got 2 mums. If your dad can't link 10 kilos of sausages in a minute 30, you got 2 mums.
You get people getting their poor old dads linking sausages now.
Yeah. I wanted to add in a new segment of that. So if we get people to send in those things, it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that.
But I thought the breaking beef one was good on my end.
Well, in a couple of weeks, I've got to go and teach a load of 5 and 6-year-olds how to make sausages.
That'd be a fucking laugh.
That will be, yeah. My other half is a beaver leader. Make whatever jokes you want out of that. But yeah, I have offered my services to go and teach the kids how to make sausages.
Is that like Scouts then?
Yeah, so you've got beavers, cubs, and then scouts.
Ah, right, cool. So they're little dam feeders.
Yeah, but yeah, beavers is the youngest. But I'm going all about that. I'm going to let them choose what they want in it. So I'm going to take, chopped leeks, apples, Smarties, chocolate.
Yeah, nice.
What
That
not?
would be awesome.
They're kids. They're going to want to chuck all sorts of weird stuff.
You could actually probably find the next big thing. You never
Yeah.
know.
Can you do one with gummy bears? I've always wanted to do one with gummy bears.
Yeah, I'll do gummy bears then.
I was thinking pork and gummy bears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that should be interesting.
Oh man, I've always wanted to do that one. I've just never ever had the time in my shop to bloody put that gummy bear one together.
No.
Uh,
We all have ideas though that we never get time for, don't we?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So is that one day
Yeah.
when you get that spare 10 minutes, which never
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that spare 10 minutes and then you're off doing a laptop or you're cleaning stuff or you're serving customers and that 10 minutes turns into 2 hours and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I can
Tomorrow.
handle that. Yeah, tomorrow.
I got so spaced out today. So I went in at 5 to get stuff sorted.
Mm.
And then we opened at 9:30. So I put the lights on in the counter and all that. And I carried it on working. And then I got a phone call from a lady. I'm just coming to pick up my lamb shoulder. Just wanted to check that you're not going on lunch. No? No, I'll be here. I won't be going on lunch. Okay, I just wanted to check because it's 12:30. I wasn't sure what time. Sorry, it's what?
You're like in
I
a huge,
had to double check
massive
about
time.
3 different clocks because I was like, he just opened. It's 9:30. What are you on about? It's not 12:30. Like the day just went.
Also, I'm trying to figure out what's a lunch break.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, there is that.
I'm trying to figure that one out.
Smoko.
Smoko, buddy. Coffee and 2 fags, mate, and off you go. You're good for a
Yeah.
few more hours.
I mean, I think we probably shouldn't say it, but as butchers, we've all, I mean, Carl was the one that we've all got halfway through dicing chicken, stopped, had a bite of your sandwich, then carried on dicing chicken. We're all still here, right?
Yeah. We're still here. And still stronger than ever and we're hardly ever sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Right. I've had an absolute blast with this.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
It's been awesome.
Fun.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Really
thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. And before we go, Doug, if you want to plug and promote anything and everything you want.
Yeah, just follow us, Middle Farm Butcher Shop on Facebook and Instagram, and myself on Instagram, Big Butcher Doug. But yeah, give us a like, follow, whatever you want. Just
Subscribe.
subscribe. Yeah.
Subscribe to the Butcher Bible.
That's the thing. I hardly post because I don't get a chance. But it's those. I want to take a picture of that, but the lighting's not quite right. It's not worthy to go on, and then you don't do anything.
Get Ryan to get his phone and then put it on the brightest setting. And then you can probably get that.
I only get Ryan to film me when I'm naked, as his manager.
Well, you never send them to me, so that's why I'm surprised.
No.
Contractually obliged.
There's already more than 2.
It's escalated.
It's in the fine print.
Yeah. Reasonable management request. Take it.
Yeah.
Please.
Naked Fridays.
Yeah.
These fucking deviled lamb kidneys are going to be great.
Look at this, please. Does it look swollen? Thank you.
Doug, this has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys.
I love you, Doug.
I love you, boys.
Cheers for coming, everyone. Just remember, like, subscribe, follow, do everything you need to do. Love yous. See ya.
Bye.